Hey, 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 everyone. Listen, we are here. We are ready. We are getting our What's Your I Can live boost together on today. And I'm so excited that you are here with me, joining me for our What's Your I Can live boost. It is going to be a phenomenal topic on today. So we are talking on um, our What's Your I Can. Let me know if you can hear me in the comments, okay? Let me know if you can hear me well, if there's any, other distractions going on that is preventing you from hearing me clearly. So, our What's Your I Can live boost happens every Wednesday at noon. And we talk about different themes that may be plaguing single moms and keeping them from rising to their highest level and becoming the best version of themselves possible. And it is my goal to help you navigate the terrain of being a single mom as effectively and efficient and successfully and as elite as possible. So I want to say thank you so much for tuning in today to our What's Your I Can Live boost. Now we're going to do some a little formalities because we not only have our social media Facebook group, but we also welcome everybody that is tuning in on our YouTube channel. I'm super, super excited about having you to join me on this lovely day. So again, let me know if you're able to hear me well. And if you cannot hear me well, please let me know in the comments. So this is how you're going to let me know in the comments if you were able to hear me well or not. So if you're able to hear me, please drop that one in the comments for me. Not only is this one signifying that you're able to hear me, but if this is your first time joining me as well, drop a one in the comments. So if this is your second time joining me, please drop a two in the comments. If this is your third time and beyond joining me, please drop a three in the comments. And yes, I am doing a mic check to make sure that my mic is properly connected for all of you to hear me as clearly as possible. How does that sound? So I'm super, super excited about today's topic. We are talking on turning your setback into strategy. How to profit from adversity. How do you profit from adversity? That is a great question that you're asking yourself even now, even as I am speaking and presenting this topic to you. You may be looking at different adversities or trials or challenges or setbacks and upsets in your life, and you're trying to figure out how on God's green earth am I going to see the seed that is equivalent to my go through? How am I going to reclaim my life of abundance when I am faced with such adversities? Great question to ask, and we are going to dig into that. So we did the formalities earlier. One, if this is your first time. Two, if this is your second time. Three, if this is your third time and beyond. And all of my threes, and to show mad love to my ones, let them know that they are in the right place at the right time to realign, reassign, and to revamp who they are, change their story, transform their life, and live their utopia. You are in the right place. I just want to encourage you on this afternoon to let you know on this Wednesday, windy Wednesday, because here in Texas, the wind is high. Okay. And naturally, I'm going to go ahead and, the wind is high, but also I'm going to relate this to some things in your life that the winds are blowing and they seem to be knocking things down. The winds of adversity, winds of financial distress and challenges, the winds, the changes of the government, the administration, and things that has been taking place within the first 100 days of Trump administration, and you are feeling the winds, right? And my goal and my plan for you is to be grounded. Apply the faith that you do have. Stay grounded, okay? Because just because the wind is blowing in your life, though the storms keep on raging in your life. Okay, so anyway, just because the winds are blowing in your life doesn't mean you have to, be ruffled about because the winds are blowing. You don't have to, become have anxiety, be become afraid. You don't have to become intimidated by the winds, because they could be so high and it could be so intimidating that it seems as if you are going to blow over. But I want to encourage you on this afternoon that you're not going to blow over. You're going to stand firm. You're going to be like a tree planted. Okay. You have deep roots. You know, you look at the winds and the leaves blowing, and the trees may bend a little bit depending on the wind and how you know their strength and so forth, but they do not break. They're not going to break, and you're not going to break either. So yes, I am going to continuously check my mic. So let me know in the comments if you're able to hear me and all the good things, because again, I want to make sure that nothing keeps you from receiving what we have to receive on today. So I'm Kristy Angelee, and I want to welcome you to today's What's Your I Can Live Boost. This is where we pause midweek to get our faith focused, our mindset sharpened, and our vision recalibrated. Is this you? Do you feel like you need to recalibrate your vision? Do you feel like you need to reset who you are, refocus and realign? Especially this is coming up to we are in the last, we have one more day for April, right? And we're moving into a new month, a new season, a new challenges that we may be facing, new victories. And how do we navigate? How do we set ourselves up for success? How do we allow our, prior experiences become the stepping stone for our next, for our greater, for our profit, for our gain, for our influence, for our, comeback? How do I allow all the things that I've been faced with, all the challenges, all the setbacks and upsets to become this beneficial, seed of change for my life? I'm so glad that you asked. This is what we're going to be talking about right now. Okay. So today we're diving into this. We're diving into something that's been like stirring in my spirit, because we often hear, allow your setbacks to become your setups. And if you don't know how to allow your setbacks to become your setup, you will you'll fail the assignment. You won't understand the assignment. You'll fail it, and you'll be in that same situation, that same place, month after month, week after week, year after year. And your goal is to become the elite single mom that you are able to be. It is to reclaim your life of abundance. We hear all of this language, all of these different sound goods, terminologies and sound good, words. Some can become such a cliche as well. And we hear this and we want to apply it, but how? How do we make this work for our life? How do we ground ourselves? Yes, in this life. This is something that my father, God rest his soul, has often shared, been in the ministry, and just him having a love for God, and the word of God let us know in this life, we will have trouble. We will have challenges. We will have tests. We will have adversity. There is no getting around it. So either you can buckle down and put your boots in the ground and say, I'm going to have challenges. I know this, and change your mental perspective and the way you respond, and allow the seeds to be produced from your go through. Or you can accept it and become defeated, and you can accept it as you become a victim. You become a statistic. You become another, just another single mom, or just someone who is always facing hardship after hardship and never allowing them to serve you. You can look at this from a positive mindset, or you can look at it from a negative mindset. It is up to you. This is how you allow your setbacks, your hardships, your upsets to become a profitable, profitable lifestyle for yourself. Not saying that you're going around looking for adversities, welcoming them in. They're going to be there automatically. They're going to come. That's the ebbs and flow of life. This is all a part of living, because once you set your mind to achieving greater, what happens? The world, the life itself is going to put you to the test. Life itself is going to give you challenges to discipline you, right? To see if you have what it takes to hold to what you say, that this is what I am going to become. This is the person I want to be. This is the business I'm wanting to have. This is the lifestyle I'm wanting to have. Life is going to bring you challenges to test your resolve. All right. So life is going to bring you challenges to equip you, to help you to maintain and say, are you putting your money where your mouth is? Right. So what you have to do is become so focused and so in tuned and believe in what you're saying that nothing in this world is going to separate you from your purpose, from your calling, from your vision. Okay. Because it's going to happen. Things are going to come to test your faith. They say your faith must stand trial. Who you are, what you're determined to do, excuse me, regardless of who's there and who's not, regardless of what the government is doing and what they're not doing. You got to be your own rescue. No one is going to come to your rescue to save you except the Lord Jesus out of something. And even in that, he says in his word that I have given you the power to get wealth. I have given you everything you need pertaining to life and godliness. Okay. So I want to take you through some steps. Okay. I want you to understand that life doesn't always serve you what you expect. It's not going to serve you all the time what you expect. It's life. Okay. It's just like getting a bag of M&Ms. You're going to get a mixture of M&Ms, right? That is life. It's like getting, like Forrest Gump said, life is like a box of chocolate. Okay? You get what you get, but you get to choose on what you allow to shape you. You get to choose the chocolates you want to eat out of that box, out of that bag of M&Ms. You get to choose. You don't have to accept what life presents to you. So I want you to understand that, because a lot of times we accept it as part of, well, that's just the hand that I was dealt, as in I have to accept what life gives me. No, you do not have to accept. So whether you're a single mom, a woman navigating leadership in ministry or business, or someone simply trying to reclaim your next best chapter, this is for you. And so do me a quick favor, go ahead and tag someone. Let them know that we are learning how to turn our setback into strategy, how to profit from adversity. Okay, so this is something that I'm reminded that Napoleon Hill said. He said, every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. I believe I'll say that again. Every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. And you're asking, okay, like, how is that possible? How is my heartache carrying a greater benefit, a seed of a greater benefit? How is the loss of a loved one carrying a seed of a greater benefit? How is becoming a single mom, unexpectedly, and I had this whole beautiful life plan for myself, carrying a seed of a greater or an equal or greater benefit? How are these things working out for my good when I am barely scraping two pennies together to make ends meet, when I am constantly feeling the weight or the loss of that loved one, of my father, of my mother, of my child, of my husband, of a job, of a career that I thought was a sure thing? How in the world are these things working? For we know that all things are working together for the good of those who are loved and called according to his purpose, right? How are these working for my good? How is this benefiting? How can I extract? How can I dig up? How can I find the seed? So I want you to let that land, right? What hurt? What I want to say it like this: what hurt you can also help you if you harvest it. What hurt you can also help you if you harvest it. Y'all, what hurt you can also help you if you harvest it, and not harvest it in a bitter way, in a negative way, right? He wasn't talking about pretending like nothing happened. This is not what harvesting. He wasn't talking about becoming bitter, becoming revengeful, becoming, hateful, or becoming depressed. That we not that type of harvesting. You can harvest it in a beneficial way, or you can harvest them in a non-beneficial way. He meant looking at the raw material of your pain, your loss, your detour, and using it like seed in the soil of purpose. Using it like seed in the soil of purpose. So here's the truth. Adversity reveals your ability. So I want you to already look at a challenge that you're faced with. We're going to get some breakthrough on today. I feel it. We're going to get some breakthrough, because some of you are wondering, how in the world is this working out for my good? I'm going to say that again, because people are telling you, oh, it's for your good. Oh, God knows, he knows what you're going through. You're able to handle this. You're hearing all the sound good, but you're not receiving or knowing how to allow it to actually work for your good. And I'm going to teach you how. That's my thing. That's my jam, is teaching how to use what has been, that can be something of negative, for your good. And this is what adversity does. Okay. So I'm going to let you in on a secret. All right. A secret to success that successful people use and have used to overcome their challenges and become billionaires, become millionaires, become moguls, and all of these influential. They use their adversity to allow it to reveal their ability. So look at something that you're dealing with now. Look at it go through. Look at something that you're faced with now, and ask yourself. We're going to get into my WYIC frame in a moment, and I think I'm tapping into it even now, because this is the wonder phase. You want to ask yourself, what is this revealing about me? Am I as confident as I thought I was? Do I have the capacity, or do I have the skills? So we're going to get into this, right? So it doesn't always show up wrapped in opportunity. Adversity, your ability, it doesn't always show up wrapped in opportunity. Adversity doesn't always show up wrapped in opportunity. Sometimes it shows up in a breakup, in a layoff, in being overlooked. Okay. So, but what do you do with it? I want you to get this so bad, because we have this wealth of goodness, but the way we look at it can cause us not to get the seed and sow it in the right soil. Put it in the right soil. You have a seed, but if you sow your seed in hurt, in pain, in vengefulness, you are not going to reap the benefits of becoming the successful person that you see yourself becoming, that you know that you can be, because you're putting the seed in the wrong soil. There is the story of the parable about the seeds falling and being sown into different types of places, or different type of soils, right? So you're talking to the wrong people about your go through, about your heartache. You're in the wrong groups, and you're hearing the wrong messages. You're in the wrong community, and they are feeding you lies. They are feeding you, oh, if I was you, this is what I would do, type of language. They're feeding you limiting, and they're feeding you food of failure. You do not want to eat food of failure. You don't want to eat food of poverty. You don't want to eat food of hurt and depression, or I'm going to get you, or I'm going to keep this. If I were you, I'll take them to court. For the single moms that are in a group, in a community where they are hollering, take them to court. This is, if I was you, this is what I would do. I wouldn't put up with that. I would cut all the negative. It sounds good because that is something that is familiar and that's been handed down. But you have to ask yourself, yeah, I feel like I'm very passionate about this. I'm not trying to preach to you. I just want to talk with you. You have to ask yourself, is this serving my highest and greatest expectations that I have for my life? Come on, somebody. All right. Okay. So, but what do you do with it? That's what separates those who stay stuck from those who rise. Listen, if the people you are talking to are in the same situation, they are still dealing with the same type of go through. They're still financially, they're broke. They're in poverty. They are still in a place they haven't gotten a promotion. They haven't, changed locations, mentally, and they are still in that same place because they're saying, this is, if I was you, this is what I'll do. And they're still in that same place. They are not advancing. They don't have a beautiful relationship with someone. They are still, trying to come up through the government, whatever the case may be. Okay, then you are planting your seeds in the wrong soil. They are stuck. Those are not the people you want to be getting counsel from. All right, those are not words of wisdom. They are words of hurt. They're words of confusion. They're words of brokenness, of poverty mindset. Those are not the type of people. They sound good, but they're not for your good. Okay, so we're going to talk about the keys to profiting from adversity. And I'm going to use my WYIC framework a lot that I use within the WYIC inner circle, or when you're talking with me at one-on-one coaching, or within my company, Angelee Vision Reclaim Co. This is what we use into deeper work of the WYIC framework. And so this is talking on what's your I can. And this is how you realize your I can, by asking the right questions. So the first part of the WYIC, which is the W, the first pillar is the W, which means wonder. So in this pillar, in this phase, you want to ask better questions. You're asking questions, but are you asking the right questions? Are you asking better questions, right? Instead of why me, a lot of times people ask why me. It may be in a long form asking why me, but in reality, the main thing you're wanting to know when you're dealing with a adversity of any kind, a loss of job, a loss of a loved one, a loss of someone that said they're going to be with you forever, becoming a single mom, whatever it is, the real question you want to know is why me? But you go about it in a long about way. You having, asking, you're debating, arguing, hostile, and all the things. But what you really want to know is, why me? What did I do to deserve this? You want to start asking instead, what is this moment here to teach me? What is this moment here to teach me? Another thing you want to ask yourself, what can I now see that I couldn't before? What can I now see that I couldn't before? But you want to have a positive mental attitude when you're asking yourself these questions. So your headspace has to be right. The place from which you're asking these questions has to be right. Or else, when you ask yourself these questions, you are going to get a negative response. Come on. So the way you ask these questions determines how you are going to allow the seed to become equivalent to your go through. It become a part of your purpose. It become a part of your vision of life of abundance, reclaiming your life, right? And becoming a successful, whatever your vision is for your life. Okay. So the way you ask these questions is going to determine your destiny. It's going to determine your next step. All right. So who can I become on the other side of this? Who can I become on the other side of this? And this is directly related to your definiteness of purpose. It's directly related to that. Having clarity on who you are, where you're going, and how you are going to change your community, change your status, change the world is directly. So these questions are directly related to your purpose. Do you have a purpose for your life? And if you don't have a purpose for your life, you want to join the WYIC Inner Circle, okay? Because we want you to have purpose for your life. So because we don't want you to depend on WYIC. And if you know what WYIC stand for, Women, Infant, and Children, WIC, government, we don't want you to depend on that. We want you to depend on WYIC. What's your I can? So I want to tell you that adversity is an invitation to activate wisdom. Wisdom, 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 to activate wisdom. I want you to speak that into your life. I am activating wisdom. This adversity is activating wisdom in me. So the second thing you want to do is yield. You want to embrace the pause. You want to yield to it. You want to yield to the questions. You want to yield to what you are, going through. I'm checking to make sure my mic is still on. No one has said it's off. So I haven't charged these up. So we just want to keep it going though. Yielding isn't quitting, because a successful person already understand that adversity reveals my ability, and adversity comes to discipline me. So they understand that quitters never win and winners never quit. So yielding isn't quitting. It's strategic surrender. Strategic surrender. Yeah, this is good. Strategic surrender is how you reflect before rebuilding. It's how you reflect before rebuilding. And in this, you want to ask yourself, what no longer serves me from this experience? What no longer serves me from this experience? Your personality, your mindset, your emotional ability to respond in a healthy way, your relationships that you're building, the ideas, the ideology, the behaviors, your philosophy. What is no longer serving me? What is no longer serving me from this experience? Okay, so what strength did I discover in the storm? What strength? This is and this is beneficial because we're going to get ready to move into the inventory. So what strength did I discover in the storm? What strength did you discover in the storm? Every strong woman, hear me now. Every strong woman has a story she survived, but she yielded long enough to learn. Every strong woman has a story she survived, but she yielded long enough to learn. I hope you're getting this with me. So now we're going to move into the inventory, and I have 2 minutes left, and we're going to wrap this up. We want to turn the test into tools. How do we do this? Again, it all starts with asking the right questions. What skills did this season sharpen in you? What skills did this season sharpen in you? Did you learn how to communicate better, set boundaries, manage time, love yourself deeper? Now you have tools, use them. You have these tools. You don't put these tools away and never look at them again and don't know if they're working properly or not. They become dull. They become out of sight, out of mind. You want to put your tools to work, because if you do not put your tools to work, you will lose them. What you don't use, you will lose. All right. So let me give you some examples. Joseph in prison, that was adversity, but it developed his leadership. Ruth in loss, that was pain, but it positioned her for purpose. Me, there were moments I felt abandoned, rejected, but those were the same moments I discovered my call to be the rescue. Adversity taught me that I didn't have to wait to be chosen. You don't have to wait to be chosen. Listen, I had to choose myself and show up like I was already chosen. I had to choose myself and show up like I was already chosen. Okay. So here's your WYIC challenge this week. I want you to write down one adversity you faced recently. Write down one adversity you faced recently. Then I want you to identify three things it taught you or developed in you. And finally, I want you to ask yourself, how can I turn this into a tool, an offering, or a strategy? And if you're a single mom or woman rebuilding, remember this. I want you to know that I set aside 4 hours a week. No, not 4 hours a week. I set aside 4 hours, an hour a week. I set aside an hour a week, 4 hours, 1 hour per week in May to coach and mentor women just like you. You don't have to walk this journey alone. And the link is in the bio. It's in that little description at the very top of my page where you could just read a synopsis about who I am. So that's where you can find the link, and you click on that link and you should see pro bono apply here. And share this with a sister who needs it. Your adversity isn't your identity. Your adversity isn't your identity. It's your activation. This has been your WYIC Live Boost. And as always, change, transform, live. I love you all. Have a blessed day.